This is strictly just for testing purposes. This is going into a command center for one of our customers.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Okay, so today we are working on a demo for our 4x8 COB Pro Spectrum. It's a 1.25 millimeter pixel pitch. It's about 4 million pixels, which is 2 times 1080p, about half 4K. We're going to be setting up our Pro Spectrum cabinets. We have the bars up already. We're making sure that the bars are nice and tight because the center of the slots on the bars are where we're going to put these cabinets into the slots. We use our little bolt and nut. We're going to get this all connected, show you the power, the network calibration, the controller configuration, and then ultimately we're going to be putting on some video to test both sides. There's a one big image and a smaller image. So we'll run you through all the steps you will need to install these correctly. Okay, so we're going to start putting the cabinets in this particular wall. So we'll be just sliding them in from the left to the center and then from the right to the center. For these cabinets, they're pretty straightforward. We have your receiving card in the middle. We have your power, it's bi-directional, and then we have our network. We have our new quick lock system. You can preload your nuts and bolts. Sometimes we'll preload them into the bars depending on the configuration. So in this particular setup, we intentionally leave these ends open so that the slots, we can access them. Again, some of them you'll be doing the same, but you'll be coming from the vertical ones down. I'll sometimes put WD-40 on the actual nuts. It just helps sliding on the bars a little bit easier. You want these edges to be as smooth as possible. If you don't put the time into your bars and then into the edges here, you're gonna have a very difficult time with your modules. When you get them lined up, you pull them in like this. You can use a tool if it's a little more tricky to, bend them up, but ultimately you want to get them nice and level. Then once you're happy with it, you get your quick lock in there, checking the edges too. And then after that, you're going to want to take these and pull them in tighter to your bars. All right, so we got the two up here. We're going to start preloading them. Once we get the cabinets, make sure, take a lot of time to watch the edges and even the leveling, because there's not a lot of play, but you can get 1 or 2 millimeters up or down. We do have these X plates, which are meant to be used for this. It helps pull in 4 cabinets together, all the 4 corners. So these are called X plates. They are bi-directional, so we can do them for a front install, or if you have the opportunity, you can do them back. Just depends on if you have a cavity back here, you can put it back here. And that way you free up this slot for running cables. Not that you can still use it this way. So basically, these are machined. You'll have it connect to 4 cabinets and you'll screw them in, and that will help pull the 4 edges nice and flush. Okay, so we got the first row done. So we'll just actually start in the middle. We'll use the quick locks to connect it to the top cabinet, and then we'll use our drop-in nuts with our bolts to affix it to this rail. We got these, when they're unlocked, you'll be like that. You're gonna slide them up, and you get up, you turn that, and then you're gonna check your edges as there is a little bit of play. So you wanna make sure that that's as flush as possible. Give it a good hand tight, and then you can get an Allen key or some tool that will fit in here. I would just give it a couple turns just to make sure it's nice and snug. Again, when we're working with these cabinets, we have 3 holes here. The one we're using is the largest hole with threads. Our screws are actually smaller than the threads, so we're just taking those, putting our bolt in there into our nut like this, and then we fix it to the actual cabinet. That. Okay, so we have all the cabinets up. We have our 4 up, we got our 8 across, everything's in, level, secured. After that, we're going to go on to connecting the power network. We're gonna break down the power into several sections, depending on the power network. Also, you gotta follow that. The cabinets on average do a max draw per cabinet of about 70 watts. So our power network diagram will tell you how to set it up. What sections to break it down into, depending if you're using a 20 amp plug and a wall receptor or a 15 amp. In most cases, we recommend a 20 amp to handle the power. You can get more cabinets, but you do need the adequate quick cabling that can handle 20 amp, and you do need the 20 amp plug that will fit into the wall receptacle. So in this case, we're breaking this down into, I believe, sections of 12. We have this connected to the wall. In some situations, you can actually put the power behind the wall, or you can have a power box below and run your cables through the wall so that the power is accessible. In this case, we're just doing a demo, so we're gonna just let it hang on the bottom. So you'll connect that cable, right? So when you see that, the green light will come on. And then for connecting the other cabinets, we simply route these power cables through the inside of the cable, inside of the cabinets. And we'll connect that. You'll want to check as you go, seeing that the green lights will come on. Do this one, this cabinet here, and we'll run this one down to here, like so. Connect that power. You want to make sure the cables are nice and neat. Keep them pressed down. There are cable locks here that help pull these in, as you don't want anything protruding, otherwise your modules will stick out. The cabinets come with the cables already installed for going vertically. But when you're doing multiple columns together, like this case, we're going 4 up, you need one of the jumpers that are provided to jump from one column to the other. And you keep doing this for the entire wall until all your green lights and power is on. All right, so we have all the power connected. All the lights are green, power's coming in. We have it going up, over. Using a jumper to the cabinet, we will clean these cables up and pin them down. As I said before, we have these kind of cable ties that are used to help pull those cables in. So after we have all the power connected, again, you will follow the power network diagram that will break down what the sections are going to be for your network. Each pixel pitch is a different resolution. This particular one I'm putting up is a 1.25 millimeter pixel pitch, which means there's about 129,000 pixels per cabinet. So we have to break it down into sections of no more than 650,000 pixels, as that's what a normal network run from the NovaStar controller can handle. So we don't want to go above 650 or it won't handle the resolution. In this case, we're going to go 4 cabinets, which is well under 650. And so we're going to go 1 column, and that's going to be 1 network of the bottom, and that's going to go into the controller. So this one will be your input from our NovaStar controller, and then this one will be your output, which will unclip that there, and we'll wrap that around up through this one. See here, this is going to be your input side, this is your output. So we take that cable, we come up, we go into the input here. This one comes out from here, up to the input here. This is the output. That goes into the input here, and now we have 1 column connected. In this case, we're doing HDR. So when you do HDR, it's half the resolution per cable. Instead of 650,000 pixels per cable, it goes down to 350,000. So in this case, if it was non-HDR, we'd break it down into about 1 network cable for 4 cabinets, which would be under 650,000. In this case, since we're doing HDR, that goes in half. So we can't go more than 325,000 for 2 cabinets. So that's what we've done. I think each cabinet for the 1.25 is around 129,000. So we broke it down into 2 cabinets per cable. So we have the network runs connected for this cabinet, and then we've linked up to this cabinet, and that's done. This is going to be cable 1. This cable we have starting here, and we have it working up to this cabinet here. That'll be cable 2. We've done that for the entire wall. And now we're going to start connecting it to the NovaStar, testing to make sure that all the cables are correctly connected. The NovaStar LCT software will let you know that. Okay, so we've got everything ready to go here. We have our NovaStar H2 controller. In this case, we have 4 1080p inputs because we don't need a 4K. We're doing less than that on the video wall. We have our 16-port output. In this case, the maximum we needed for this wall was 16 ports. We have 32 cabinets, and we're splitting them in half. 1 cable run per 2 cabinets to keep under that 325,000 pixels for the HDR. We have our computer set up here. We're running our NovaStar LCT software. We have a rudimentary list, or a little chart I made, just so I know which cabinet is receiving which cable. And we've numbered the cables that are coming out of the wall as 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. That way we know that cable 1, we're going to put it into port 1, cable 2 to port 2, and so on. Makes it easier for when you're doing your screen configuration in Novastar LCT software. Makes it nice and easy to figure out what you're doing. We'll come over to the computer here. We're running the Novastar LCT software. You definitely have to get the system and your computer on the same subnet IP. If that's the case, you'll see that one control system pops up. You can click on details. You can see it's H series, which is what we're using. Also, you can see if it is working, you'll sign into the IP address in the web interface. The default address is 192.168.0.10. If everything's connected, you'll see this interface. This is the internal web interface of the H2 controller. So we've already come in here and we've done our configuration. The network card can handle maximum 4K out, so we drag that over here. 4K is 3840 by 2160. And in this case, our wall is not that. It is 3840 across by 1080p high, as that it's not a regular size. So what we've done when we pulled that there, I'll just actually do it for example. We'll close that out. So we pull the maximum resolution, which is a 38 full 4K, but our wall is not that. So we click on that. We go down to the height. We change that to 1080p. And then that represents the size of our wall, shape, aspect ratio, everything. So now that we know that's connected, we're going to save the changes. And we go over, we can see our input source is live. If it's a green symbol, that means it's live. And then after this, we can drag it over and whatnot. We're not going to see anything now because we don't have modules up, but this will help us with testing. We're going to come back to the Novastar software. Once it's all good, we are going to click users, advanced, password is 123456. You might want to change that. It's up to you. Log in. And after that, we're going to go in, we're going to do our screen configuration. You'll see the IP come up again. You can leave this to whatever. I think it defaults to China, does not matter. That will load up this. And the two areas we're going to be working on is screen configuration, where we're going to tell it how it's mapped based on this chart we made. And in the receiving card, we're going to load the parameters from a file that's sent with your order with the LED wall. There will be a configuration file that you'll want to load up, and it will populate all these configuration data points. And this is going to be what's specifically configured for your wall. So it's best to load that file, otherwise you will get errors on your wall. Okay, so working on the configuration or the chart we made. Again, we've taken all the cables, we've labeled the ends. So we're going to start by connecting these based on their numbering. So this is cable 1. We're going to go to port 1. Cable 2, we're going to go to port 2. So we've connected all the cables, just tidied them up a little bit, even though this is just for demo. I don't want to trip over anything. So now we're going to confirm that all the cables are connected correctly and that we're receiving signal to the Novastar back to the software. When it comes down to the modules, especially for COB, they are pre-configured to certain positions. So this is a representation of the 4x8 across cabinets. The modules will have numbers on them for A1. Within A1, you're going to have module 1, 2, 3, 4, and those will be placed on, if that's being A1, you'll place the 4 modules there. If you come down here on the back of the modules, you'll see the numbers. So we have position H1-4, that's E, that's C, so we're going to start with the A's. So those have to go in position. They are pre-calibrated, pre-configured to those positions. Prior to us testing, I'm going to do a quick test with the Novastar to make sure everything's connected. I'm going to throw a couple modules up. We don't want to put the modules up entirely first because we want to make sure things are connected. Don't want to take modules up and down. So in this case, we're just going to throw a couple modules up. So when we do some color testing and video testing, we can see that they're actual live. When we're happy with everything, we will put the entire wall up and do some more testing afterwards. We're opening the Novastar LCT software. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go into the screen configuration. we want to draw out based on this little chart we did of where the cables are coming in and which direction they're going. So based on that, we're going to configure one screen. Okay. And then we're going to tell it is columns is going to be 8 columns, and we're going to have 4 rows. Okay. And we'll enlarge this a little bit. Within that, we start grabbing, these represent the ports on the NovaStar controller. So this is port 1. And based on our screen configuration, we know that port 1 is going to bottom left. It's coming in. So we'll follow this chart. Go like this. We'll grab port 1. We go in like that. Okay, so the default for each cabinet resolution just comes out to 128 by 128. That is not what we're working with. We are working with 1.25 millimeter pixel pitch. So that width is 480 per cabinet, 480 pixels by 270 high. So we're gonna do that to entire column, entire row. You can start in either direction. So this side, you can see it's all 480. Now we can click this one, entire row, this one, entire row. So you just want to double check that you can see that the resolution for each cabinet has been set. You can see 480 on all of them. After we're happy with that, we're going to go down to send to hardware, and we do that, and we hit send. We can go over to the receiving card. Each video wall, LED video wall COB COB comes with an NCP file. So you'll get a USB that is specific to your wall. We can also email it to you as well. In this case, we have it already downloaded from the card. So we're going to load that file, and we're going to send NCP. Okay, all receiving cards, we're going to hit send. And do full data. So that's all saved now. I'm going to get out of this. We're going to get out of this. And we're going to take a look at same as monitoring. This will give you a good representation of your wall. So we'll click on that, and we're going to zoom out. Now in this particular case, we show a bunch of sections that are not connected. Now sometimes it takes a second to click on, so we can always hit refresh a few times. If not, we have to go check that the power is on these cabinets and that the network cables are connected correctly. As I was mentioning, we're just going to throw up a couple modules just to allow us to actually see some test patterns. We don't want to do the whole wall first. This is just to make sure the test patterns, colors, receiving cards are being sent. We're happy with that. We'll go through, organize the cables a little bit better, make sure everything's flush and pushed down. Anything that's protruding will push your modules out, which you don't want. So in this case, we're just going to put up 2 cabinets, 8 modules for testing purposes. This is based on that chart. This is pre-configured for H4 cabinet, and then within H4 is going to be H4-1, 2, 3, 4. This is the H3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to go right to left and fill these out. The modules have been up position. You want to make sure you follow that. There's one cable or one connector to the receiving card. For the first one on the edge, I always kind of like to get it lined up with the edge of the cabinet. And once you let it go, you will feel that magnet pulling it in. So we get it nice and lined up, and you'll hear a, don't force it either. You'll feel a nice firm snap in, and then you're going to want to double check your edges on the cabinets. Cabinets are nice and machined, so you get it to that edge, whether you're on the left side or the right side. It's a good starting point to have that perfectly, because there is maybe a millimeter or so of play. So you don't want it to be starting too far left, and then you're going to be all messed up when you get to the end. So you want to make sure that it slides, is nice and firm. You do want to wear gloves. You don't want oils on there. It becomes very hard to clean it afterwards if you're using your hands and have oils all over them. And it can affect the lifespan or the coating of the actual LED module. When you're doing this for the final wall, you will want to go through and check your lines, make sure they're tight. If anything's protruding or recessed. All right, so we have all our cabling organized. We've kind of tucked everything away. This is again just a demo / test. So we're not running the cables behind. We're just going to run them out the bottom for now. We got our first row of modules laid out. We put a few modules up so we can do some testing, just to make sure everything's connected and we're seeing video, which we are. When you go into Novistar software, you want to go into screen monitoring. And when it's all green, you know that all the cabinets are connected and receiving data. So once that's good, we know that the wall is connected correctly. If you see some red boxes here, that means you got to check your cable connection and see why that it's not communicating correctly with the controller. I like to put a few modules up, run some color tests like so, green, red. It just helps you, as you go to make sure you're not putting up an entire wall of modules just to realize there was a connection issue and you have to take them down. So send them back to normal. Typically also, when you are installing these, it's a little more difficult when you have color or video on the screen. So you can always come down here and just go blackout. That turns it off. And when you want to come test, you can go normal, or you can send a color to it like so. All right, as we go along here, I like to go the first row, especially that these are mostly wider than they are higher. So I like to get the modules across the entire bottom row, making sure that they're nice and flush on the left side, nice and flush on the right side. Everything looks good, then we work our way up. So when it comes to the modules, they all have positions on the wall. If you look on the back of the module, they'll have a number, H1-3. That means it is in cabinet H1, which is this cabinet, and this is position 1, this is position 2, 3, and 4. So, and they have up arrows, so you want to follow that. You will have cables somewhat popping out. As long as they're not sticking out too much, the magnet and the module will pull it in. So just there's some cable ties you can help to tie these down. Well, ultimately, you want to make sure that a cable is not sitting on top of the magnet and preventing it from going down. So once that's done, you're going to want to put the module in, line it up with the edges, the top and the bottom edge of the previous module, just feeling like that. And you can slowly let it in. See the cable right now is blocking. Just move that around. You can adjust these somewhat. They go a few millimeters up and down. And when you're happy with that, you start with the next ones. Now, when you come through the wall, this is why it's very important to make sure that the cabinets are dead flush. You have a little bit of play in here. You can loosen these and bring it out or back, or when you add the X plates, they also help make those better, more flush. If they are sticking out, then your modules are going to stick out. Now, if you got that perfectly level and you notice one of the modules is slightly sticking out and you have a line that you don't like, you get a tool here. It's the magnet tool. All these magnets have a little notches that you can go in here and you can counterclockwise or clockwise a magnet depending what you're trying to do. If you have one module on this one that's sticking out and you just can't get it to go in, then you can raise the magnets on the next module so that lines will meet up and you don't see that seam. So that is helpful. You can do it as you go if there's something very noticeable. What I like to do is, unless there's something that's really sticking out, I do the entire wall and then I go through afterwards and I do my adjustments using the vacuum tool. I pull these off and then do my adjustments and put it back on. So we have the first 2 rows just loosely put in here. This is more so for testing. So we're going to fire up some video, see how it works. If everything's good, we're going to go on to the next 2 rows. Okay, so we have the 3rd row up and we're just going to do another test and we're going to get onto the 4th row. And if everything goes well, we're going to start doing some calibration and configuration, getting the optimal color for your wall. So we're going to go normal. Perfect. We have video across everything. Looks good. We're getting down to the final few cabinets here. Everything is going smoothly so far. There'll be some adjustments. Again, this is just for a demo for color testing and functionality. For a final install, we will be going through afterwards and definitely fine tuning it so you have one even plane with nothing bumping out. But for now, it's more so just a color test. And yes, we'll put the last few in here. We got A1-3. There we go. We are done our installation here. This is strictly just for testing purposes. This is going into a command center for one of our customers. So we like to get into our facilities first and test it out, make sure the color is right, do our color calibration, our aging test, pre-program the Novistar controller, so it's nice and easy for the customer to recall some presets, some common configurations, The customer will be doing real-time data monitoring, closed circuit TV monitoring. These are just sample feeds, not the customers. So we're happy with the install. We've got it all calibrated. We'll eventually take it down and move it to the customer's facility. But if you are interested in a wall like this, get a hold of us at brightlinkav.com, or you can email us at sales@brightlinkav.com.